What's up, gangster, coolster, joester, freshster, in the house? I'm Cool Joe, in the house. You know who it is? Coolster Joe. Oh yeah. Head across the street. Head across the street. Now, I would like to read you something to show you what I was saying in exposure therapy is lame and stupid, part 1. And I hope you didn't think I said that exposure therapy was cool. I hope you knew. Excuse me. I hope you don't think I said exposure therapy was cool. Wow, look at these Christmas lights. Amazing. I love these decorations. Red candy canes, amazing. Now, I hope you don't think I said exposure therapy was cool. And I hope you understand that I said exposure therapy was cool. I hope you didn't think I said exposure. Let me rephrase myself. I hope you didn't think that I said exposure therapy was cool. I hope you thought that I said exposure therapy. Let me replace myself. I hope you didn't think that I said exposure therapy was cool, and I hope you know that I said exposure therapy was cruel. So exposure therapy is cruel. 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 Very cruel. I agree with a lot of critics that exposure therapy is cruel. Now let me read you something that's going to prove it. When someone is consistently exposed to a image that they deem as unsafe, their vagus system is activated into fight or flight mode. Consistent exposure can cause the system to always believe it is an unsafe environment. That's what I wrote down, but after that she said that the patient never feels safe. How is she ever going to heal from the mental illness? The patient never feels safe. How is he going to heal from it? Like I said in the first video, let me rephrase it. I'm sorry I was whispering, but it was nighttime and I hope I was loud just enough, because I'm sorry I whispered in the other video that I made. The part 1 of exposure therapy is lame and stupid. I'm sorry I whispered in that video. But now I'm going to be a little bit regular voice. Now, as I was saying, let me refresh your mind on part 1. Like I was saying, exposure therapy is when the doctor exposes the patient to their fear and increases their anxiety with their own fear until they get used to the discomfort of their fear. Which I think is ridiculous because of the thing I just read. And response prevention is like preventing a response. Preventing your compulsion, hand washing, counting, all those compulsions. Preventing compulsions. Which I don't think makes any sense at all. Because I read up exposure therapy. If you're OCD, you're going to do compulsions anyways. So what's the point? Yeah. How many bars keep going by? But I hope you can still hear me. You're still going to do compulsions regardless because you're OCD. That's what I read up online. You're going to do compulsions regardless. Going across the street, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, like I said, with my same point, exposure therapy. That was a good point I had on it too. It doesn't make sense. It's going to increase your patient's anxiety. Yeah. That car was fast and loud. Anyway. As I was saying, it's just like pinching you and telling you not to say ouch. Just like tickling you and telling you not to laugh. Now let's get to the facility. Let's get to Dr. Fadowski. My mom said that I used to not reserve using my right hand. By the way, I don't use my right hand because I try to keep it clean. I try to reserve my right hand to keep it clean. Because yeah. But my mom said I used to use both of my hands, my right hand and my left hand, back when I was in high school. But I remember I didn't. In 2018, I did not use my right hand. I did not use both hands. I was still germophobic. And I still didn't touch stuff. I used my knuckles. I didn't use my hands at all. Then I started using my left hand in 2019 to touch stuff and reserving my right hand. And that was real accurate. But to finish up, let's get to Dr. Fadowski. You know he was nasty, right? Been in the trash can, rubbed it all over his head. I even told my coworker Andrew about it. He said, "Ew, that bothers me." I'm not even OCD, and that still bothers me. That's what my coworker Andrew said about him digging in the trash can, rubbing his hands together and rubbing it all over his head. That's nasty. That bothers me. I'm not even OCD. That's what my coworker Andrew said. And he wasn't even OCD back when I worked at that Mayfield Walmart job. The sense that even a coworker woman told me at the job was, I'm already anxious and I don't think I need my anxiety raised. When I told her about the OCD, that's how she responded. And that was common sense. You're already anxious, why do you need your anxiety raised? I think, yeah. The most annoying part is they keep asking the questions. Like, they keep having a hierarchy to 1 to 10 of anxiety level. What's your anxiety level? Is it a 2? Is it a 7 or a 10? That stupid question that they keep asking. That's why it is lame and stupid. That's why exposure therapy is lame and stupid. I don't know why they keep using that type of therapy, but it's dumb, it's lame, it's stupid. I don't know why you would use this type of therapy. But another woman I told said, I told her about the exposure therapy, and she said, and I told her about Dr. Podolsky digging in the trash can, rubbing his hands together and rubbing it all over his head, and she said, "Yo, why is he doing that? To increase my anxiety until I get used to it," I said. And she said, "Ew, that's nasty." And I said, "You can't increase your anxiety until you get used to it." And she said, "Yeah, it doesn't work that way." And it was ridiculous. I don't know why Dr. Podolsky keeps treating it like it's a roller coaster. Kept treating it like it was a roller coaster until it goes up. Your anxiety will go up, 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 until it's so high it will just fall right back down. No, I heard from Gracie's community, that your anxiety will fill so much up that you will fill up like a bubble, and then you will pop, you will explode. Boom! That's how anxiety works. You can only hold so much stress and anxiety that you can pop, explode. That's how it really works. See, I feel like exposure therapy is a scam. Like, these people are just in it for the money. Like, I one time heard LBR Dez, the greatest, like he calls himself, say, "Do you think your therapist cares about you? Nobody cares about you. Nobody knows what's best for you but you. Your therapist, after that appointment, has to wait and pay. Your therapist has to wait and pay all, and take care and book that appointment, and take care of that appointment that you just had with him after the appointment. And he's back to his own problems and business. He can just sit there and listen to your problems, and he doesn't even care about your problems." I even saw a video, Truth About Therapy, that said, the therapist was telling him Yeah, you do have a problem after the appointment. Because you think you can fix your problem by going to an office talking to somebody else about your. You think you can fix all your problems by going to an office talking to someone about your problem. It was like the truth. Yeah, therapists are just in it for the money, in my opinion. Not all therapists, but exposure therapists, therapists that use exposure therapy, like Andrew said. I told him about exposure therapy. He said, "Ooh, that's not even therapy. What kind of therapy is that?" By the way, this is exposure therapy. It's the stupid and lame part too. If you read by the bottom of the video, but anyway, it's ridiculous. They keep asking the same question. It's like Dr. Podolsky asked me to touch each thing, and he would be like, "Touch this step. How does that feel?" You know, first time I touched something dirty in his office, he said he keeps his whole office dirty. And the first time I touched something without my gloves, and I took off my gloves and touched something, he said, "How did that feel? What level did you feel of anxiety?" I'm like, "What? I'm anxious, I'm anxious." And they're talking about, no, you have levels of anxiety. And then I'm trying to, and then he said, "Wow, Joel, you're very brave for touching that. Most patients would have ran out of the room." And I'm like, how would I run out of the room? I thought security would get me. If not, I would get in trouble by my father. So I can't run out of the room. If I ran out of the room, where would I go? I just don't want to touch stuff because that's nasty and germy. I just washed my hands so excessively and just weren't them perfectly clean. But I wasn't afraid. I just didn't want my hands dirty because that's nasty. First off, I heard a lot of rumors that people were saying. It said that you could die from touching, that you could die from getting the flu. So that's when I started protecting my hands. But let me hit you up on something. But, and he said most patients would have ran out of my room. And I'm like, back to Pete, the worst therapist. You're a therapist. Therapy is not supposed to make you uncomfortable. I hope you know that. Therapy is not supposed to make you feel like running away. It's supposed to make you comfortable. So he ran out of the room, scared. Oh, back to Pete, the worst therapist. Remember the story I told you of him showing him a clown even if he was afraid of clowns? Telling him to take a deep breath while he kept singing the circus song. And he closed his eyes and opened back his eyes, and he told him to relax, and blood came out of his mouth. And he ran out of the room. That's a terrible therapist. That's not a good therapist. And like, that didn't even make sense. And then he said another girl is hiding under the bed from him. And I'm like, Dr. Podolsky, you're a terrible therapist. You're not even a therapist. You're scaring people. What kind of good therapist are you? Scaring your patients away. Wisconsin was just terrible. We flew all the way over there just to fly, just for somebody to kick me out and just so I could fly back home. Just so I could fly back home. I hope you see my necklaces. Just so I could fly all the way back home. Just so I could fly all the way back home. I can't believe it. I went all the way to Wisconsin just to get exposure therapy. I flew all the way over there. I even have a roommate named Brandon that agreed with my opinion. That was like, why do they keep asking the same question? How does it feel when you touch this? And I asked them, I can't believe they keep asking the same question. What's the level when you touch something? What's the level of anxiety you feel when you touch an object? Like, you're not even supposed to increase our anxiety. First of all, you're a therapist. You're supposed to decrease our anxiety. But what's the level that you feel when you touch this? And he was like, when I touch this, it feels like wood. And he touched the board. When I touch this, it feels like concrete. When I touch a couch, it feels soft. He was like, when I touch this, it feels hard. It doesn't make sense to keep. It's like, are you going? And I'm like, I agree with you. And he was like, are you going to? Yeah, like, are you going to ask the same question? And it was just so ridiculous. But man, I might have to get into that in part 3. I might have to tell you about the whole trip that I had to Wisconsin and all the way back, and how pointless it was, because I might have to make a part 3 on this. But yeah, you know how stupid it is to increase your anxiety. In fact, when you're doing that exposure therapy, you're reinforcing the patterns of the OCD, and I hope you know you're doing that. So the exposure therapy is done. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry I didn't say like, comment, and subscribe to my first video, to my first part 1 video of exposure therapy is lame and stupid. Yeah. So this is exposure therapy is lame and stupid part 2. So subscribe, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Make sure that you share this video with anyone else who needs the advice that is OCD. And yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. And go back and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my part 1 of exposure therapy is lame and stupid. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video. And Joel is out.